What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here, and welcome to the first installment of What's the Real Deal radio show here on YouTube. It's been a long time, but this is the first of many broadcasts throughout this 2017 calendar year, Lord willing. I'm going to go over a few things before I start. First and foremost, I'll give you the lineup for the channel so we can sort of get a grip. We can get a handle. A lot of people have come to me and was like, Rich, I'm trying to set my calendar and all that type of stuff for the shows, and you just bullshitting basically. So Big Rich Live show will still the flagship show that will be every Wednesday and Saturday evening. This show right here, What's the Real Deal, will be every Friday night. Set that fire, put something in your mind, put something in your heart before the weekend or for the weekend. And then the movie review show will be on Monday evenings. That usually allows me to go to see the movie Thursday night if it's a blockbuster, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Sunday night I shoot the show. On Monday it'll be posted, or Monday morning I'll shoot the show, and then Monday evening it'll be posted. So we'll do something like that. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Put down comments below. Let me know what you think. Again, I've gotten some feedback of the first movie review show that we put up on Monday. I think it was Monday. No, it was Tuesday. So keep them coming, and we'll modify and shake things up and stuff like that as we go to give you guys the best product I possibly can. So again, our email is bigrichlivonthemic@gmail.com. And for these shows that, the What's the Real Deal show and the movie review show, you can send those emails to Dark Shadow Media Group at gmail.com. Twitter handles B R Live on the Mic, and Instagram is Big Rich Live on the Mic with underscore between each word. So now that we're going to get to the nuts and bolts, the meat, if you will, of the show, we're going to change the format of that. I've gotten some pretty good reviews on the how-to shows, but a lot of people were saying, look, I get a lot of people are doing that. I want to know your insight on, I don't know why excuse me, every time I start a show, I got to sneeze. It's bugging me out. But anyway, excuse me, I'm probably going to have to sneeze again here shortly. But what they were saying was that, they a lot of people are putting out those types of shows, and, they want to see my insight because, I'm a veteran of the Air Force, been all of three-quarters of the world, three-quarters of the way around the world, stationed in and out, and 23 years of law enforcement. They really want to know my insights on certain things. So I was like, you know what? Instead of bogging down the flagship show, Big Rich Live on the Mic, and allow that to continue its format and expand with different segments and stuff like that, why not change What's the Real Deal to what it is? What's the Real Deal? So that's what we're going to do. So each Friday night, we're going to set that fire. We're going to chop up game. We're going to talk about certain things. A lot of things, controversial. You might get your feelings hurt, if you're sensitive. But it is what it is. I'm being inundated by questions and concerns of a lot of people on a lot of things that are going on in this country and in this world. And they want to know, and I'm very honored that they want to know, but they want to know what my opinions are. Plus, I'm not dead. I'm woke. Shoot, I've I listed my journey of being woke last year, and there's a lot of things that bother me. So, we all on the same accord. So that's what we'll be doing. That will be the format of this show. Some of you won't watch the show because you're sensitive, and if you are, and I'm sorry, it is what it is. We can no longer lay back and put our heads in the sand about things that are going on in this world, in this country, because regardless of whatever you say, whatever position you are in life, it affects us all in different ways. It does in different ways. Sometimes it affects you in a simple way. Sometimes it affects your life to a way where, you don't know where, up from down or where you're going to go from there. So that's when we were. Today, this topic, and this show for my people, black people. That doesn't mean that my Caucasian friends, my Asian friends, my Latin friends can't get down with this, because we all family. But this is where I need to get down, on my people, not with my people, on my people. Because see, we messing up. We've been messing up for a long time. We've allowed ourselves to fall in love and worship some of our stars, some of our politicians. When I say stars, I'm talking about singers, rappers, athletes, and stuff like that. We've allowed them to use and abuse us, basically get to come up from us until they can expand into what I say mainstream. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every, I don't care what you say, I don't care who you bring up, every African American athlete, entertainer got put on by us. And when it was built up, then the mainstream started to listen, and then they inspired way and above and beyond, which is great. I mean, it's great. I'm all for other people getting to come up. You know what I'm saying? I'm jealous of no one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, there's certain situations where you would like for it to be you, or you would like to follow in that particular person's footsteps. But as far as jealousy, no, that word does not correspond with me as far as somebody getting to come up. But we have not only allowed them, we have not only started worshiping them, but now we've allowed them to dictate and capitulate to things that are not advantageous to us, things that are actually harmful to us. And, that's where the word traitors, coons, Uncle Toms, Stephen from Django, that was the Samuel L. Jackson character, have come up, and they've come and boiled to the surface. Now, when you talk about traitors, I was in a Twitter discussion a couple of days ago, and somebody was asking, well, you use the word traitor. Well, a lot of bigots, racists, white supremacists, and stuff like that, they use traitor also, but they use it when they say if they see a white man dating a black woman, or a white woman dating a black man, or something like that, or they see a group of Caucasians or other races rallying for better treatment of African Americans and other people of color, they call them traitors. I said, well, first of all, you need to look up what the definition is. What they're using the word for is not what it means. That is not a traitor for you to date outside your race, for you to have compassion for less unfortunate person who don't happen to be the same race as you. That's called human compassion. You know what I'm saying? That's called being a human being. Traitors are people who do things that are detrimental to that particular race, color, creed, religion, sexual orientation. That is the difference. And we have a lot of traitors. We have a lot of Toms. We have a lot of coons that are in positions of authority who are making decisions for us that is not for us. It is for their ascension or their assimilation. And we need to start holding these people accountable. We as black people need a code. And what I mean is a code is every other culture has a code, whether you know it, whether you notice it or not. They have a code. And what I mean by a code is you need to have a code for good, not good. And let me get rid of that. You need to have a code for togetherness and punishment. What do I mean by that? You say, well, Rich, what are you talking about? Okay. We're going to use the inauguration of Donald Trump, which was yesterday. That's why, it's Saturday. Like, damn, Rich, you said that the show this show was going to be on every Friday. Today's Saturday. I understand that. But I had a whole bunch of things to do yesterday, and I really wasn't in the mood to spit this fire because I would have said something that I would have later regretted. So we're going to use that as a platform. The inauguration. Everybody who is about something understand that Donald Trump is a bigot. He's a racist. He's a sexist. He's a homophobe. He's a narcissist. And this election was about hate and not love. It wasn't. It wasn't about hate, togetherness, or whatever. Okay? But you have African Americans who was going to and have, I don't know if they actually performed because I didn't watch not one iota, not one scintilla of the inauguration yesterday. Actually, I didn't really watch TV at all. But when you have a code, when I say having a code of togetherness, when everybody rally around something, right? Everybody rallies around that. Whether you agree with it or want to participate in it or not, you still rally around it. What do I mean? If we sit around and be like, okay, this person is a racist, is a bigot, is a homophobe, a narcissist, a liar, this, that, and the third. We not messing with him. Okay? We not going to do nothing to harm him. Like, we're not going to go and sabotage this or, wish ill will on him. No. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is we are setting an example. We not fooling with you. And if it's a legitimate gripe, a legitimate beef, then we all say, no. I know I could use the bread. I can use the notoriety. But we all as a group decided we not messing with you for legitimate reasons. Not because, we mad that he won them, let's just say not him, but not that we're mad that a Republican won the election. No. We mad that he won the election because we understand why he won the election. Okay, so we be like, hey, it is what it is. We got to go with the results. We got to do what we got to do, but we not fooling with you. That's the code. Because I'll say this, and I have a lot of Jewish friends, and most of my clients are of Jewish ancestry. So we talk all the time. And they said, look, let's just say that we found out that Donald Trump, this is them speaking, not me. We found out that Donald Trump or his uncle or his father or whatever was a Nazi collaborator. Okay, let's just say that, or the disparaging remarks that he said about Mexicans, he said about Jews, he said about Israel, this type of stuff right there, right? My Jewish client was like, it wouldn't really even need to be said. But if it needed to be said, we would all know. We be all on code. None of us are messing with you. We not financing you. We not coming to the inauguration. We're not, if there were entertainers, we're not entertaining you. We are not participating in your farce. That is a code. They know that. That's a code. Us? Oh no. You put enough bread in our pocket because we starving as a people. Are there people within the African American community who are doing very well? Yes, I do very well. I'm not poor at all. I live a very, very comfortable life. I have money in my pocket. I have money in my bank account. I have money in my savings account, this, that, and the third. So when I say things like this, I'm not necessarily talking about myself or talking for myself because I've lived a very blessed life. But just because I've, quote unquote, made it to where I have my own house, have my own car paid for in cash, have my own business, retired, I really don't have to work again a day in my life, and not bragging, I'm just putting it out there. Does that mean that I sit down and not say anything because things are being done to people who look like me? I would be the ogre then. So that is why I'm actually saying stuff like this, why I'm bringing this up. But we need to have that code of togetherness and also a code of punishment. And what I mean a code of punishment is when you, as an African American, do something that is detrimental to the people, when you do something that you capitulate to white supremacy, when you could capitulate to the man, if you will, that is a detriment to our people as a whole, you should be punished. And I'm not talking about physically punished. I'm not saying, I mean, it just had a video, some white guy, I can't remember, he's a white supremacist, on Twitter, where he was talking and going back and forth with the camera, and somebody came and stole on him, and which that means punch him in the face, and then took off. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that you understand that we have a code, that you understand if you do things that are detrimental to us, you will be ostracized. You will be dealt with. You will no longer be able to make money. You will no longer be able to walk amongst us as a people because you tried to sell us out, or you did sell us out. We don't have that. Now, some people might say, because again, I'm on Twitter all the time. Some people say, well, we don't have the money. We don't have the resources. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We spend close to $1.7 trillion every year in this economy. We just don't do it together. That's the thing, is we don't pool that money. And I don't mean find your Kickstarter and throw all your bread in there. I'm just saying we don't pool. We don't pool our money and our resources to do that like other people and of other races and nationalities do. Okay, so don't sit up here and tell me that we don't have any money. If you put that 1.7 trillion, I got this from Dr. Boyce Watkins, if you put that 1.7 trillion dollars of spending power up against the gross national product of a lot of countries, and I'm not talking about third world countries, I'm talking about quote unquote first world countries, we have a bigger spending power than they do. We just not educated enough. We don't educate ourselves enough to know these types of facts. So that's what I'm saying. It should be a punishment. You should know. Okay, if I say this, if I get on national TV and I say this, or I go behind doors and I capitulate to this, there's going to be consequences and repercussions from my people towards me. And I might not be able to survive that. So that is what we need to do. Other communities do it all. I just explained what my Jewish client said to me. Easy. Asians the same way. Same way. You step out and do something that's going to bring harm to the Asian race, to a lesser extent, the Hispanic race, the Jewish nationality, you're going to be dealt with harshly. So that's why you don't see them yassa bossing and tap dancing and dancing the jig and all of that type of stuff. I mean, yeah, you got a few. You had, during the election, you had a few Hispanics that basically was soft shoe cooning, with Donald Trump against their own people. So it's not just us, but I'm talking about us. We need to have a code. We need to be on one accord to make sure that everything is protected. And you understand that there are consequences of repercussions to what you do. Everything you do. Now, if you want to roll that dice, go ahead. You'll be out on the island by your damn self. Period. Because dominant society is not going. Once you lose your credibility amongst the people, the dominant society has no use for you. None. So I got a few quote unquote coons that I want to put out, and I'm going to explain to you why. And I know a few of them, people are going to shake their head because I talk bad about them all the time. But the first one, the number one to me, is Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is a African-American so-called comedian who's never been funnier than me. I don't like him at all. I don't like him personally. I don't like him as a man. He ain't gonna whip my ass, so I'm not worried about that. He's one of them comedians that spent decades on what we call the Chitlin circuit, where he was performing in front of nothing but African American audiences. Okay, African Americans, we put him up, put him over, stood him up, if you will, to be seen. Now he's a host of Family Feud. He was doing, I don't know if it was Miss America or Miss Universe. I couldn't remember. I think it was Miss Universe. Pageants. He has his own game, talk show. Why, I have no idea. He giving out relationship advice. But anyway, I digress. I really don't want to turn this into a Steve Harvey bashing. I'll save that. If you guys want me to really go in on Steve Harvey, let me know in the comments. And I'll do that. I'll pleasurably do that. But now he's, he got to come up. He's doing real well, and I'm not shitting on his accomplishments. Hey, make all your bread. Do what you got to do. I have no problem with that at all. What I have a problem with is when you soft shoe cooning, yassa bossing, and selling us out. Period. I'm not even going to go into the boys camps that he has where him and I forgot it's Steve Perry. I want to say, I think I'm butchering his last name, but I'll get into that. I think I said that in a couple of earlier shows, the Big Rich Live show, when we spoke about that. But I'm not even going back that far. I'm talking about him going to meet Donald Trump, and then after their quote unquote meeting, he in front of the national media with this stupid smile on his face. You could see that he looked like he was uncomfortable. And then, just yassa bossing and shucking and jiving and capitulating and all of that type of stuff. Then he gets on his radio show the next day when they in his ass, when they should have been, oh, well, somebody told me to go. Somebody told me to go. First of all, brother, you spent all last year talking shit, and excuse my French, I'm a curse just a little bit. I'm not going to get real vulgar. But you spent the whole year talking shit about Donald Trump, talking about how he wasn't shit, which he ain't. And, he can't win the election. He's a bigot. He's a this, he's a this, he's this, all this type of stuff. And then you go to the tower, kiss the ring, like the bitch you are. Okay? You have no credibility, none. Now, before people put on the comment section, and a lot of people don't put stuff on the comment section, I want to change that. A lot of people just DM me or they tweet me back and forth. And before people get up there and say, well, are you saying that you should not go talk to anybody because you disagree, or you shouldn't go talk to your quote unquote enemy? No, I think that's ignorant. However, if you about right, what you do is this. You say, okay, look, let's meet in if you want to talk to me, we'll meet in a neutral field, a neutral site. And if for some reason you don't want to do that, you still want me to come to the tower to kiss the ring. First of all, I'm not kissing the ring. And second of all, I'm letting it known that I'm not getting in front of no cameras. None. I'm not shaking your hand. I'm not doing no photo ops, nothing. Because my thing is, what the hell did you get to do that for us? What did you get? You want to sit up there and talk, we talking about voters' rights. We talking about a plan for the African-American neighborhoods and crime and all that type of stuff. Where's it in writing? Where's it in writing? Where? What have you done? What have you got where you came out and you said, these are my notes? That's one. How can you sit up there and say, okay, look, I met with Donald Trump for 3 hours. We ironed out a deal that he's going to push. These is 7, 8, 10, 12 steps that he's going to do for black and brown people and other poor minorities and or Caucasians to make sure that poverty is stomped out. Do you have that? No. All you want to sit up there is get a photo op and this man just telling you all sorts of bullshit to get you to roll over and basically sell us out. So now you got some people, I guarantee you have some people that follow Steve Harvey blindly that, oh, well, Donald Trump is not that bad because Steve went up there and Steve said he said this, that, and the third. Where is it in writing? Where? And even if it was in writing, you can't enforce it, but at least you could be up and say, look, this fool, see, this is in handwriting. It's his signature right here. This fool said this, that, third, this, that, third, this, that, third. All you got is basically what you saying. So he can sit there and say, I didn't say that. He misunderstood me. I didn't say that. And that's exactly what he's going to say. So you went up there and you sold us out for nothing. For nothing. Let's go down. Ray Lewis, football player, former football player. This is a fool. A straight fool. And what kills me is Ray Lewis has come from nothing. He's come from, Miami, I want to say Overtown or Liberty City, something like that. Come from nothing. Built himself up, became a great football player, had a great college career, had a great NFL career, will be a Hall of Famer, all of this type of stuff right here. He got into that beef maybe about 15, 20 years ago where one of his guys, one of his associates wind up or was accused of killing somebody. He was accused of covering it up, didn't want to help the police. He supposedly got saved and went off the deep end. I know about being saved. It's very exhilarating. But you can also go too far. You could walk directly off of a cliff. If you notice, if you listen to Ray Lewis, Google some of his videos. He sounds like he's preaching. I'm like, dude, really? Calm down. It's not that type of party. It really is not. It's not that serious. Say what you got to say and keep it moving. He wants to get on his video. I want to say it was YouTube or maybe it was his Facebook page. I don't subscribe to either or. It was brought to my attention. And he wants to denigrate and talk trash about when we talking about the riots in Baltimore, because that's where he played his pretty much entire career, in Baltimore for the Baltimore Ravens NFL team. And he's denigrating, calling people thugs, and you need to get out of the street and do something with yourself, this, that. And first of all, dude, did you forget where you grew up? How many people that you grew up with are still living, let alone achieve something? How hard was it for you to achieve something? It's hard. See, a lot of people forget, and I think they do it on purpose. They forget how bad it is where they were and how hard it was for them to get out of where they were. So they think that everybody else can either do it, and if you didn't do it, it's because you didn't try. Let me tell you something, bruh. You ain't the baddest cat in the world that ever played the NFL, that played in the NFL or played linebacker. There's a lot of people that could have did what you did, but they didn't have the opportunities. Or there was something that went down, half the time, stuff that they brought on themselves. But don't get it twisted that, okay, well, I made it, you can make it. So he gets up there. He been soft shoe cooning, tap dancing, yassa bossing this whole time. So he goes to the tower and kiss the ring, smile and all that type of stuff like he doing something. Give him a chance. What? D.L. Hughley said, fuck you now, fuck you forever. I'm going to order a couple of shirts that he's selling on his website saying that. I will never forgive the evil that Donald Trump and his ilk has set forth in this country. Did they make the evil? Hell no. This evil has been around for 400 years, especially towards us. No. What he did was he enabled a lot of people to now think it's cool to do stuff like that. How is it all of a sudden, all of these college students, all of the instances about blackface is coming up now? And we'll cover it on the Big Rich Live show. They just had, an older white lady shoot some black kids who were visiting somebody in, again, I really don't, that's why I'm not going to go into detail because I really don't know all the details, but they were visiting somebody or they lived in a house a couple of doors back or whatever. She shot the man in the head, shot the boy in the head. and they wasn't even on her property. They were just walking down the street, allegedly. You know, these types of things right here were allowed and set forth by Donald Trump and his ilk. Donald Trump won this election based on fear and hatred. That's all he did. He used the old Southern strategy to win this election. It is what it is. So again, Ray Lewis, Yasser Boss, and all that type of stuff. He want to sit up there and talk trash about, oh, you guys shouldn't be looting. No, they shouldn't be looting. You're right. They shouldn't be looting. But you can't say what they should be doing without addressing why they're doing it. Why has it gotten to this point? They didn't put themselves in this point. They're kids. Okay? You was talking about the youth that was rioting. I'm not talking about them old heads that was burning down CVS and running up into Walmart and coming out with flat screen TVs and stuff like that. If you look at it, it was different shades, all races up in there trying to grab TV sets. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what he was addressing, the kids. The kids didn't put themselves in that situation. Didn't. Address the real issue. Stop talking trash about your people and address the bigger problem, why they're there. That is what I'm talking about not having a code for punishment because of Ray Lewis, a Steve Harvey. They can sit up there and they can say these types of things and talk trash in front of folks, in front of family, if you will, about African Americans and not worry about any repercussions, because the dominant society enjoy that, because the Steve Harveys and all them and the Ray Lewises can say things that they can't, say things that they want to but can't. So they enjoy that. They enjoy that. Prop that up. Matter of fact, the worse you talk about black people and you are black, the more money and opportunities they'll give you. They'll never accept you, but it is what it is. It is a means to an end. Let's move down. Martin Luther King Jr. III. This clown. This is the same clown that tried to sell his daddy's Bible and Nobel Peace Prize for money. He goes into the tower to kiss the ring, he's talking about voters' rights. Oh, we had a very productive meeting. What did I say about Steve Harvey? Where is it in writing? Where's it in writing? Where is it in writing? That's what I want to know. Where? Where did you sit back and talk to this man and got this man to agree to anything? So basically all you did was wasted your time. You came out slick talking, jigaboo dancing, shaking this man's hands with a photo op, thinking that you did some shit. And you haven't done anything. Totally disappointed. This man, and I use that loosely, has degraded his dad's legacy. I would really like to know, and obviously his dad died a couple of days after I was born. But I would really like to know how he feels, how Dr. King feels about his son right about now. Again, no code for punishment. They can sit up there and they can say what they need to say. Number 4 to me is worst is worse. I'm trying to just chalk it up to the man is in his mid-70s and maybe he's going a little bit senile, but the great Jim Brown. He goes up there with Ray Lewis to kiss the ring, comes back talking about I'm in love with Donald Trump. Again, what did he promise in writing that he's going to do to fix the problem? Did he say, hey, I agree with reparations? Did he say that? No. Did he write that? No. Did he agree to that? No. Was that even brought up in discussion? I don't know. It's closed door. Notice they didn't tell you what they did blow for blow. Is, oh, we had a productive meeting. The great Jim Brown, one of our starch supporters, one of our champions in the 60s, 70s, 80s, used to have gang members of opposing factions, Bloods and Crips, meet in his Malibu home and talk about not capitulating, but talk about how we can get past this, how they can stop the killing, this, that, and the third. And he goes up there and kiss the ring. Again, when I'm trying, I'm holding out hope that it's just because he going senile and he's just old, because that wasn't a Jim Brown that I know. And then last but not least, and there's also a bunch of honorable mentions, but we're not going to get into that. But the last but not least is Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. A lot of people don't realize Clarence Thomas, out of all of these five, Clarence Thomas has done the worst against the African American community. The worst. And before I really just ripped into him, I wanted to do my research. So I read some books. I listened to a lot of his interviews, when he first got nominated and he got confirmed. And then later on, this man grew up in the heart of the Confederacy. He grew up in the nest of Jim Crow. And it's like he forgot all about that. Now, some things that he says, I understand what he was like. Look, I don't want, nobody gave me nothing, which is a lie. And I don't want us to get handouts, which I understand. Because let me tell you something, the overwhelming majority of African Americans don't want handouts. All we want is the same everybody else gets. If everybody else is getting crap, okay, give us crap. But don't give everybody else cream, or the majority or a certain faction cream, and then give us shit. Okay? He voted for Hobby Lobby. The Hobby Lobby deal was granting corporations personal status, basically meaning that because the owners of Hobby Lobby don't believe in abortions, they don't have to pay, their insurance don't have to pay for abortions or contraceptives or anything like that. So basically, the owners of Hobby Lobby dictates everything that goes on medically to people who are in their employ. Clarence Thomas voted for that. Clarence Thomas also voted to strip out the voting rights, gutted the Voting Rights Act. Justice Thomas voted to gut that. Justice Roberts was the one who says, oh, well, basically racism is gone. Look at what happened when they did that. It's been over 1,100 days since the Supreme Court struck down Section 5. Section 4, which gutted Section 5. The Congress still hasn't addressed and fixed it. But look at all of the laws that have been passed in the Law 48 because of that. States like South Carolina, North Carolina, Texas, all of these states that had to go through pre-clearance, meaning what let me explain to you what pre-clearance, and I'm not trying to get off the beaten path, but this all basically goes into what I'm talking about as far as Clarence Thomas. Pre-clearance is basically saying that no laws can be passed in your state dealing with population, you know what I'm saying, dealing with like voting rights and that type of stuff there, without Congress approving it, without the federal government approving it. When Section 4 was struck down, which gutted Section 5, all of that pre-clearance was gone. Immediately, states like North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, this, that, and the third, and all that started rolling back voting rights. Started, I follow North Carolina real close. So they've put forth 13 laws after the Voting Rights Act was gutted that disenfranchise black and brown people and poor people And all 13 times in court, it was overturned. Stuff like that. Clarence Thomas sat down there and just waved the white flag and capitulated. Clarence Thomas will go down as one of the most detrimental African Americans of power that we've ever seen in the 21st century. The 20th and the 21st century. I really feel that way. Maybe I'm overstating it, but that's just my personal opinion. So, people, we need to get our proverbial shit together and start holding these people accountable. And not only hold them accountable, stop counting on them to do what we need to do for ourselves. Stop counting on these NFL players who all they're thinking about is their next paycheck and next endorsement. And I'm really not trying to shit on them, but I mean, a lot of them are not the smartest knives or sharpest knives in the freaking drawer. Okay, so when you have a situation like that, if you know that this person is not particularly articulate or not particularly smart, why in the hell do you want that particular person to be speaking for your ass? Really? Really? I mean, I can go on, honorable mention, the Richard Shermans, the Stephen A. Smiths. I mean, and keep going on and on and on and on. Kanye West crazy behind. You know, just crazy. Floyd Mayweather, sorry ass. This man is rich, worth $650 million, but I would not want to walk a day in his shoes, not one freaking day, because he is lost. Lil Wayne, give me a break. And you keep going on and on and on and on and on. We need to do better, people. We need to do better. We need to hold people accountable. We need to do our own stuff. And we need to make sure that we doing things together and let people know. So look, we not to be trifled with. We definitely want to talk and want to live amongst everybody in peace and harmony. But it has to come from we on the same field. We get what everybody else get as citizens, period. As not naturalized citizens, as born here citizens. Sorry about that. So like I said, you know, add your comments down below. Next show, we're going to talk about reparation. Yeah, we're going to get into that deep, hard, and heavy. But again, like I always say, stay safe. Stay focused, stay woke. Meantime, in between time, I'm out. Be safe. Peace. Yeah.